He manages to secure the last hit.
Right now, S4 probably working on a Hex. I think this is the best item that he can go for. If you go for Yules, your hero is pretty much useless with this game. You go for that item if you have a kill or two. Going for the Aghanims also probably doesn't do enough. So going for the Hex means that at some point the Storm is going to have to grab a BKB. Same with the Drill Ranger, and you want to force them into that weird situation where instead of continuing their snowball, they have to stop and get a BKB.
Right. Speaking of BKB, Artur has his coming in. That tier 1 tower rapidly dropping, though, to Illidan's push as the Drill Ranger. This is allowing them to kind of keep up with the SF.
Oh, this is such a bad situation for VP to be in, though.
Shadowplay goes off. Illidan actually gets some distance. Now the counter ward gets dropped. The telekinesis is there. Light Strike Array misses. FNG pops his head out. He's trying to get away. Silence actually gets laid out. Illidan hopefully was getting to the trees and TPing out, but there's no way. Team 2 can actually get 2 there. A big pick-off, even if it does cost them their tier 1 tower. Virtus Pro, my goodness, it actually looks like they want to still fight this one with the initiation from TK Phobos. This would be a pretty crazy choice by them to try 3 versus 5. And sure enough, they do back up.
I don't think they necessarily had to go for that top push either, though. They showed 2 of their heroes in the mid lane, 1 of the heroes in the bottom lane, meaning that max VP can't send anybody else up there. There's only 1 tier 2 tower, not enough space for them to get there in time, and I mean, they just pretty much fed away 2 heroes. Like, you have to anticipate Secret having at least a Dust or a Sentry ready. They see the Shadowblade come out on the Drow. They're always going to anticipate that. There's no professional team that will see a Shadowblade and say, okay, well, let's just find out what happens and hope that he doesn't invis. And I mean, that's just free 2 kills for them, and they want to use this Aegis at this point, though. Yeah. With the Bloodstone, they're probably going to try to get aggressive, and Arteezy's a really good target here.
Absolutely. DK Phobos starting things off with an Echo Slam. They will be able to chain stun and instantly pop Arteezy. The use of the Laguna Blade has got to be all about that Shallow Grave from Puppey. They did not want to give that support the opportunity to be able to save SF for 5 seconds. And let there be a turnaround.
Oh, Illidan from behind.
He jumps in. He's going to be able to get the silence on the Puppey. And they do easily get the kill thanks to the Fisher. And it looks like with those 2 pickoffs, they should be able to get this tier 2 tower. Team Secret actually going to go for it. Vacuum up. Sonic Wave instantly taking out 1. And a second as Zai runs him down. God turns around onto S4. They will be able to pick up that counter kill. Kuro's up next. God, oh, what a ball lightning steal from Kuro. Actually gets away from the Fisher. And now they're actually going to push VP away from this tier 2 tower because of that. Well worth the trade of S4's life.
I think Kuro was fine there, but by stealing the ball lightning, now they have better ways of initiating. It's just a good ability for him to steal because he's got such a low mana pool to work with, so it doesn't cost too much. I think the activation, it says 78, so that means he can probably go from tier 2 to tier 3 relatively safely, and this is going to make it really hard for VP to lock him down.
Once again, Lil's going for the medallion into Solar Crest. A couple of other items here. FNG doesn't have a whole lot of item progression just yet. That'll probably come with the tier 2 towers falling. DK Phobos is actually going to go for a Force Staff instead of the Yule Scepter he went for last time.
I kind of think this is cool by Kuro, though, because he can actually catch Illidan really easily, Kev. He walks into Illidan, blows the zip, immediately lifts him, and then just makes sure that Illidan is spotted for the rest of his team.
Puppey is actually in a very dangerous position right now. He was trying to get some aggressive vision up. The TP out, but God is there to get the pull. And the Fisher on top of that. That's just another charge for the Storm Spear. Even if he couldn't use his Aegis earlier, he still has 11 Bloodstone charges.
It's probably okay, though, because you're continuing to snowball, and S4 just isn't really getting anything out of this.
Kuro, he actually gets the initiation on FNG, seals his nuke, Light Strike Array, 2-man Fisher. Kuro is not going to make it out because he traded the Ball Lightning or the Dragon Slave in order to get that trade-off.
Still probably a decent trade right now, and right now they're going to get some birds out of this.
No, nice pushback. The silence was actually enough to save those 2 familiars until S4 hunts one of them down.
What's really significant for Secret now is they have a good way of initiating the fights. We saw it in the last fight. Zai has his Blink Dagger now. It's going to be so much easier for them to group up. That Roshan pit fight is going to become so dangerous for VP to take with that Blink Dagger available. DK Phobos about to finish the Force Staff too. Items. This Puppey drops the Sentry Ward. Illidan Walking in and out. This is such a dangerous game that he's playing. The Storm Spirit isn't close enough. Everybody TPing in now.
Oh, Illidan already the Shallow Grave preemptively used by Puppey. Illidan's going to try and TP out seconds away. What a familiar drop there from Lil. This is why he is one of the most feared Visage players across all of Dota.
He's just so calm with it. He always knows what he wants to do with his familiars. Saves it to the last second so that there's no way that they can grab him, and great play by him. G's about to finish the Orchid though, and the next Rosh fight I feel is going to determine a lot. If you get the Roshan again on G, that means one of your supports is dead for sure. Maybe even S4. But if you can get it on Arteezy, that means you can just kind of power through all the lanes and just give him the Aegis. It's so hard to kill him the first time around. You probably have to blow the Echo and the Laguna Blade, and from there Secret just get into a fight.
Is G looking at S4, who is going to blink away unless... Oh, God, no! Just half a millimeter away from being able to break down the right tree that would have revealed the S4 TPing out. Going back to it, God chooses to go for the Orchid here. Does he really feel far enough ahead of S4 that he's not worried about that Scythe of Ice?
No. He's had that ultimate orb for quite some time. He's died one additional time, so he knows that S4 is still quite far away from it. But, I mean, Secret, they're going for the push right now. I think they feel confident with the Blink Dagger on Zai and Arteezy. He has so much farm. He's got a BKB, the Talisman of Evasion. It's going to be incredibly hard for them to take him down.
Which kind of pushes Illidan to this awkward situation where he has to make a decision between MKB and BKB.
I think he has to go for the BKB.
God. Oh, mind games. Arteezy, his damage is too much. Gets the last click on the tower there. They stun up Artur, trying to catch up. FNG's going to lead with perhaps a blind light strike array. Yeah, the Fisher chain stunning Arteezy down with Laguna Blade on top. Shallow Grave does go off, and Arteezy will have the opportunity to pop his ultimate. They just need a couple of right clicks to kill him. The Draw Ranger, no, it's not enough. God is actually going to jump forward. He gets that one as the explosion from the Blink Dagger canceled by the illusion. S4 spotted out by the familiars, but they won't be able to get there in time, it looks like. DK Phobos tries to go for the Fisher, but not there, and they actually get 3 for 2 to the favor of Secret. They lost Arteezy, but they still managed to pick up God and a couple of supports.
Him getting his ultimate off changed the entire state of that fight, because it just made VP split up. They were afraid. They didn't want to get hit close range to it, and he stayed alive for so long that G had to commit all of his mana pool just to kill the Shadow Fiend. And you don't want to trade in a one-on-one situation like that as the Storm Spirit, because now all of a sudden, if S4 wants it, he has a fully completed Hex.
Yep, he spends the...
Oh, I think he forgot about the change.
Yeah, the Void Stone's still back in the regular base. But he will have it for the next fight. Illidan, meanwhile, he is going to be going for the BKB. He almost has it completed, so he's kind of hiding it right now. I think once they finish up that BKB, they probably go for a smoke, force a team fight, utilizing that 10-second match community.
Yeah, that's a really good chance. I almost feel that G needs one too, and as long as S4 doesn't show himself, this fight's going to be so weird.
Hey, Phobos, they're going to jump in on Arteezy again. They still have the Echo Slam, but there is a response from Team Secret. They do have the Shallow Grave that's going to come in at the last second. Arteezy easily survives. Now they're going to go into S4. He actually manages to blink out just ahead of that one. Two-man vacuum by Zai. He's going to be stunned up, though, and they still have the damage. God's going to come in. He looks for kills. Kuro's actually stolen Ball Lightning once again, though. And Team Secret, that was actually so close. I mean, the Arteezy barely survived there, thanks in part to the Shallow Grave. S4 barely managed to get out with the blink. And then Zai also going down. Is VP just too strong in team fights?
I think VP actually could have just won the game there if they could have had the Storm Spirit in a little bit of a better position.
Right.
S4 doesn't have buyback. He's got no gold at all. He just completed his items, and they can still win a fight, but it does require that they have to be able to save Arteezy, and he has to get his ultimate off in that fight. In that fight, he just held it because he knew it wasn't a full 5-man commitment from VP, so it looked a little bit closer than it was.
There's still going to be, I mean, the butterfly is being built right now by Arteezy, but that Solar Crest is still a gigantic advantage that Lil has picked up. Right now, they're using it for taking Roshan. Team Secret actually went for a 4-man smoke. Arteezy's going to join the rest of the team, but it seems to be a bit too late. Kuro actually makes the jump in, but it's too late. God has already grabbed the Aegis. Now with the 2-man, DK Phobos actually actually hit a beautiful Fisher. They've already eliminated one. Arteezy managed to get off the BKB. Pops that ultimate. They're trying to go for Lil. Will take him out. DK Phobos, force staff away, is trying to get ahead of these heroes. And meanwhile, Illidan will just clean up Puppey nice and quick. DK Phobos stalling up these heroes, managed to get the blink away to the side. And maybe he can turn this one around with Fisher ready to go. Kuro actually steals Light Strike Array, going for the stun here, but he just gets cleaned up so quickly by those familiars. With the increased damage of the Drone Ranger aura, once again, VP, they win another fight and are well set to take an objective.
And now this is a 7-second BKB from the Shadow Fiend, and conveniently enough, this bottom lane is already pushed in for them. They're just going to go for this tier 2 tower, but they can decide to go for more if they want. Illidan's starting to pick up a large amount of farm. FNG, if he wants to go for the Force Staff or the Yules, he can have that at the same time. G's going to get a BKB, and I mean, Kuro's been just such a nuisance for him, but if he gets the BKB and he orchids him, that's one support straight away. You have really good ways to deal with the Dazzle at this point, and it's going to mean that the Shadow Fiend has no other way to survive without the Grave.
Yeah, Virtus Pro, such a large jump up in net worth after that team fight. That's about a 5,000 gold swing from just that fight plus Roshan alone. BKB coming in for God. Illidan's got a large amount of gold. He can choose to go for the MKP if he so chooses. DK Phobos is actually going to build into what I believe is a BKB just to make sure he gets off everything he can in these team fights.
Yeah, I think he should definitely go for one here, but this mid fight right now, Secret, they're prepped for it, but they're so afraid. If they lose one more fight, that could actually just mean TI for them. Right. Arteezy buys the full butterfly. They don't have buyback gold on anyone that really matters here. Kuro and Zai might have it, but that's about it.
Looks like Tier 2 is Virtus Pro's next objective. Especially with the Aegis, they feel pretty confident that Team Secret is not going to challenge them, but they may be wrong. Team Secret actually go for the 5-man smoke here.
Oh, he actually spotted Arteezy.
Going to be able to vacuum, jump forward. S4, he's going to actually turn around on Light Strike Array. God's going to jump in. They've already taken out S4, pops a BKB, and will literally lift that ultimate, but God is now controlled by the telekinesis, has to make a jump away, staying away from Arteezy, finally goes down, but that's just the Aegis. Arteezy pushed back by the silencer, going to go